traveling. So, but then joining with you was, I know it will be have a learning for me also.
No, you are a source of inspiration. It will be, you see, all these youngsters will be definitely inspired seeing you, even traveling and joining this journey of learning. It's a big joy to have you, sir. And
thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
With your permission, sir, we can start the program now.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
We have somewhere about more than 70 people on board now. Shashiji, all set? Hello. Hello. We start with the Vandana. Shashi, there seems to be some issue with the sound. Well, this is the Ganesh Vandana, which we all start with. Vakratund Mahakay Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Guru Me Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Mangalo. Very good evening to one and all. My dear students and educators. My dear students and educators and people of virtual world who are there on board on Google Meet and also on Facebook. EduTalk welcomes you to the finale of this very unique program, that is the student educator equity in co-construction of new model of learning in post-pandemic school. We had for 3 Sundays, 300 people participating in it. There were 11 schools and 13 boys and girls from classes ranging from 8 to 12. And we have so far, it's a big joy sharing with you. This program was basically coined to bring in the equity between educators and the students so that they could learn from each other's journey of pandemic. And they could realize the kind of opportunities they have grabbed in the challenging times. And also, we thought it wise to percolate the concept of NEP down to the students level. And we are very delighted to have you, sir, and welcome you to this program. We would like to have your blessings. And it's a big joy, children. We have Major Harsh Kumar, the Secretary of the NC.
को लेकर के, या जिनका भी थोड़ा भी इंटरेस्ट है, उन सब की सलाह से, उन सब के जो विचार हैं, उनका एक बहुत अच्छा प्रतिफल हमारे सामने आया है। शायद ये भारतीय शिक्षा इतिहास में यह पहला अवसर था जिसमें शिक्षा नीति को वर्षों तक इसको ओपन रखा गया कि कोई भी इसमें अपने सुझाव दे सकता है किसी भी टॉपिक पे, जिसको भी वह उचित समझता है। और एक तरह से कहें तो यह शिक्षा नीति केवल कुछ शिक्षाविदों ने बंद कमरे में नहीं तैयार किया, बल्कि यह एक सम्मिलित प्रयास था पूरे हमारे भारत वर्ष के जितने भी लोग इंटरेस्टेड हैं, जितने भी लोग उस समृद्धशाली परंपरा से जुड़ना चाहते हैं या उस परंपरा को और समृद्ध करना चाहते हैं, जिससे कि हमारा भारत जो विश्व में उसका स्थान था वह हासिल कर सके, या उस रास्ते पर हमारी जो नई पीढ़ी है उस पे अग्रसर हो सके। और इस बात का हमने प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण देखा कि जब इस तथाकथित महामारी का तथाकथित महामारी क्यों कह रहा हूं मैं, इसको मैं थोड़ा सा और बताऊंगा, बट देन पैंडेमिक, चलिए आप कह लीजिए, जो एक शब्द बहुत प्रचलित हो रखा है आजकल, कि इस पैंडेमिक का चाहे पहला चरण आया चाहे दूसरा चरण आया, हमारे देशवासियों ने दिखाया कि किस तरह से हम सब एक साथ मिल करके इसका कड़ा मुकाबला कर पाए। और इतना बड़ा देश होने के बावजूद, सीमित संसाधनों के बावजूद, हमारे इस जो चमत्कारी नेतृत्व, मैं चमत्कारी इसलिए कह रहा हूं क्योंकि इस नई शिक्षा नीति बनाते समय आपको यह जानकर आश्चर्य होगा या यह जानकर खुशी होगी कि हमने पहले से ही इसमें यूज ऑफ आईटी इन एजुकेशन, किस तरह से इसको बड़े रूप में शामिल किया जाए, इसकी पहले से ही परिकल्पना हमारे विद्वानों द्वारा की गई थी और हमारे समस्त स्टेक होल्डर्स ने भी इसमें अपना सुझाव दिया। और हमारा जो नेतृत्व है, हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री जी, जिन्होंने इसको समझा, और कई दौर की मीटिंग्स के बाद ये हुआ कि शिक्षा नीति का स्वरूप ऐसा होना चाहिए जो कि हमारे जन जन तक पहुंचे, क्योंकि भारत, हमको यह ध्यान रखना है कि भारत सिर्फ शहरों में नहीं बसा है, बल्कि भारत हमारे गांवों में, दूर दराज के गांवों में से मिलकर भारत बना है। चाहे उत्तर से दक्षिण तक, पूरब से पश्चिम तक, समस्त भारत एक है और उसकी आवाज एक होनी चाहिए। उसकी शिक्षा प्रणाली जो पहले थी, आप ये देखिए कि अगर मंत्रोच्चार चाहे नॉर्थ में किया जाए, चाहे साउथ में किया जाए, ईस्ट में किया जाए, चाहे वेस्ट में किया जाए, उसका उच्चारण, उसका राग एक ही होता है। तो कमिंग बैक टू न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी, इसमें मैं यह बताना चाहूंगा कि हमारे विद्वान शिक्षकों ने जरूर इसका अध्ययन किया होगा। नई शिक्षा प्रणाली जो हमें पुरातन शिक्षा प्रणाली की तरफ ले जाती है, और उसके साथ साथ जो नया घट रहा है उसको सम्मिलित करना, जिससे कि हम पूरे विश्व को नेतृत्व दे सकें। हमारा एम है पढ़ाई का, शिक्षा का जो भारतीयता का बोध होता है, या भारतीय समृद्धि का, परंपरा का उद्देश्य है मनुभव, यानी टू बिकम अ गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग। If you are not a good human being, you might be anything, you might achieve anything, but then you are not good for the society. So the education teaches how to live together, how to learn together, and how to be useful for the society. So हमारे वेदों में इस बात का वर्णन भी है, संगच्छुद्धम संवदध्वम संभो मनानसि जानताम। हम एक साथ मिलकर बोलें, एक साथ मिलकर, एक साथ सीखें। That is why empathy is more important than sympathy. और मुझे बड़ी खुशी हुई जबकि सुबह से मॉर्निंग सिंस आई स्टार्टेड ट्रेवलिंग, मैंने शालिनी जी से बात करी। उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे बच्चों ने इस बात पे वीडियो बनाया है, अपने सुझाव दिए हैं। तो यह एक बहुत अच्छी शुरुआत है, क्योंकि शिक्षा नीति में एक अम्ब्रेला कॉन्सेप्ट जो दिया है, जिससे कि जो स्कूल संसाधनों से परिपूर्ण है वो अपने आप आसपास के, अगल बगल के उन स्कूलों को अपना साथ दें जिसमें संसाधनों की कमी है, जिनको कि शायद कहीं पीछे छूट गए हैं किसी कारण से। उनको स्कूल्स और यूनिवर्सिटी अपना सपोर्ट देंगे, और बच्चों को उन स्कूल्स का विजिट कराइए। क्योंकि देखिए, शिक्षा नीति जो हमारी चली आ रही थी अभी तक, जो शिक्षा का प्रणाली थी, उसको गांधी जी ने जो 1937 में नई तालीम शिक्षा के नाम से कहा था कि शिक्षा केवल क्लासरूम के 4 दीवारों के बीच में नहीं होनी चाहिए, वो एक खुला एक अनुभव होना चाहिए, जिससे कि आगे चल करके एक बच्चा समाज को अपना योगदान दे सके, और वही बच्चे उसको अपना समाज में अपना योगदान दे सकते हैं। इतिहास इस बात का गवाह है। और बच्चों से मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि बच्चों, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है कि आप टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल करिए, बट ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट टेक्नोलॉजी इज टू एम्पावर अस एंड नॉट टू ओवरपावर अस। आपको अपना समय बहुत अच्छी तरह से स्वयं बांटना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि अभी आप स्कूल नहीं जा पा रहे हैं। जब आप अपने टीचर्स के लगातार टच में हैं और ऑनलाइन क्लासेस आपकी पिछले साल से ही शुरू हो चुकी हैं, और इसके लिए मैं अपने सम्मानित अध्यापकों को आई वांट टू सल्यूट देम that they have started this education, they have initiated this online education without taking any time, and within a month all the schools, almost all the schools, they have opened up online classes in spite of have limited training on computers, limited resources. But I should really salute to my teachers, because I'm a father also, so I know how teachers have started. So you also have to cope with children. You have to listen to your children, to your teachers, and obviously the role of parents have increased immensely, because earlier we used to depend on teachers only, because the student was for 8 hours one was in school. But now, though no face-to-face learning is there, and there cannot be an alternative of face-to-face learning, however, owing to seeing the situation, we have to cope up with it, and always remember that only those survive who can, fought with odds. And number game, I really have a big doubt on this number game. Please don't go for this. Don't have this type of false competition with your friends. Always, what I have told earlier, always have empathy. Try to explain to your buddies, make a buddy system, make a group, so you can discuss the problem. Make good use of technology, but then you should not be away from writing or reading or having conversation, because then you will lose on your vocabulary, you will lose on your speaking skills, you will lose on your writing skill. So because what I have seen in many schools I have visited through online only, I have observed that students are getting away from this. And obviously, when you are going through your gadgets, you tend to enjoy, because, we also sway with the, WhatsApp, Facebook, social media and all. But then you have to see that tomorrow you have to lead this country. You are not only for the country also. So all your teachers and all your school management wants to make you useful for the society, because you have to be an asset for society.
I think we've lost the audio connect of
Harsh
sir. Harsh sir?
You are the future of India.
I think well said. Harsh sir,
technology. Am I audible, please?
Your connect is slightly.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, now it is.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Now it is okay, sir.
Hello. I hope I am audible, sir.
Now it is. Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, sir, I'm so sorry. I'm
No issue,
traveling,
sir.
so
No
it
issue.
might be, little disturbances with the, network.
No issue. No
but
issue,
I
sir.
said what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much,
But
sir.
what I was saying that, my dear children, you have to aim. You have to aim for something. You have to aim. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
So
Thank
I
you.
think I'm getting disconnected. So my
Yeah. Thank
यहाँ
you
पर
very
मैं
much,
अपनी
sir.
वाणी को विराम देता हूँ, या आप प्लीज कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was Harsh Kumar ji. Despite his busy engagement and travel, he still took on, and very well conveyed by him the message of to the youngsters not to get overpowered by the gadget, but it is to empower you. And also the amalgamation of the past education system and the modern system. I think we have taken well the message, sir, from you. Thank you very much from bottom of our hearts that you have taken out time and be with us.
Thank you.
And now I request Soumya Gulati ji, the Deputy Director of Blue Belt Schools, to kindly throw light on the spirit of the concept.
Good evening, everybody. March 2020, worldwide lockdown began, bringing learning to a screeching halt, creating the most severe global education disruption in history. Educators worldwide rose to the occasion, modified curriculum, adapted lesson plans to carry on the learning using high, low, whatever available tech solutions, and alternatively flexible pedagogies for online and blended learning. Much has been said about the work of the educators, but along with these educators, our young brigade of scholars also rose to the occasion, missing the physical companionship of their peers, missing the play of chemicals in the chemistry lab, the vibrance of the classrooms, the kick in the football ground, or a hit in the cricket pitch. Yet, missing all this, they steadfastly embraced Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, whatever came their way, to carry on the learning. This little young brigade of scholars carried on everything, and the past 15 months, salute to them. They have shown what NEP talks about: flexibility, resilience, collaboration, teamwork. Yes, dear kiddos, hats off to you. You truly became co-learners made your educators, in fact, co-learners in the learning process. And yet there was something amiss. And what was amiss was their voice was not being heard. The class of 2021 and the ongoing class of 2022 definitely needed to be heard. Their experiences, the skills which they acquired during these 15 months, be it deliberately or by default, had to be shared. Their experiences definitely had to be shared. They needed a platform to vent out whatever they wanted to say, because along in this pandemic was also the hidden layer of an emotional pandemic. Yes, this is what conceptualized EduTalk's Voice of Choice platform, where we felt that in the entire learning process, children had truly become owners of their learning. For years in progressive education, we have been talking about children being owners of their learning, but the pandemic made it possible in the true sense, because it also brought in a pandemic of opportunities. You people picked up so many skills. The past 3 webinars where you all have spoken about, I must say, if someone talked about helping the COVID patients, I think that was Himanshi. There was Kishika mentioning picking up skills like knitting. There was Shakun who talked about, who mentioned the website where they've been roping in resources for the COVID people. There were children packing food for the COVID warriors, the health warriors, and also the COVID patients. These were skills which were picked up by default, but these skills needed to be shared. Your experience needed to be shared, as it will also become, is very imperative for it to be a part of the post-pandemic education model. That is where the student equity comes in, where the post-pandemic education model is concerned. But let me tell you, EduTalk's voice of choice, when we conceptualized it, was not just about sharing of experiences. It also brought in you people deliberately focusing upon the post-pandemic education model. And yes, the most radical document ever created, the New Education Policy 2020. And the kind of research which you people did was truly exhibited in all the webinars where you've shared your opinions. In fact, I don't see this platform just being ending here as a panel discussion or webinars. With Dr. Sharma's permission, I would say that I see this platform moving ahead, where we may have our students, our young scholars, training not just their juniors, but why not the educators? We educators have picked up so many digital competencies from our students in these past 15 months. Schools talk, and yes, at Bluebells, we also implement vertical meets. But yes, now the change has come where children in a role of equity can take on the role even of trainers along with their educators. In fact, I would like to share something over here for the benefit of all, and of course, Major Harsh, Secretary NCERT, if he's still there with us. 2 years back, 100 schools across India got together in curating graphic novels of the NCERT content. And the past pandemic year, 100 more joined in. And we at Bluebells Gurugram are also a part of that project. But again, it was the educators working together, creating these graphic novels, which were recently launched on the Diksha platform. But what we also saw through this entire journey, here were these children of different schools who, along with their educators, had also pitched in, maybe while formulating the storyline, maybe while doing some artwork for it. And all it is happening for the education content, the NCERT content, which we all imbibe in our learning process. So what I'm trying to say is, taking this as an example, I see this platform moving forward. I see schools now moving forward in having students on board for their strategic learning programs. That is where I see the true role of a student equity along with the educator coming in, be it whatever be the domain. Learning has been online, but yes, learning did not stop. If CBSE reduced content, that did not mean content syllabus was reduced for examination, did not mean learning stopped. We picked up more than the available skills which we could have ever thought of. That's what the children imbibed. And in the end, I think we are all too excitedly waiting for the children now to come up on board. So I'll sum up here with just a line of gratitude. Thank you, kiddos, for being role models for the educators once and now forever. Thank you, EduTalk. Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Thank you, Dr. Shashi, for bringing us all on this page together and creating this platform. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Soumya ji. See, kids, how popular the program you have made it. We will carry forward this program further. You will be amazed to know that we have very profiled and distinguished people today with us. We have Mrinalini ji, who is the leading scientist with the Government of India. She has joined us on the panel as a panelist, and also over and above, she will be one of the member of the jury. Along with her is Anju Mehrotra ji. Anju Mehrotra ji is the director of Kalka Schools. And then we have Siddharth ji, Siddharth Jain ji, who's a very profiled and distinguished, educationist. He's been with us in the past. And other than him, we have somebody who has brought in another dimension to the program, is Mr. Manbir Singh Bedi ji. Bedi ji is the person who has brought the incredible kids of India. You know, your all profiles are now on Incredible Kids of India website. May I now request Bedi ji, Mr. Bedi, Manbir Bedi ji, is he there?
He was there, sir. Let me check.
Manbir ji, I think he might have muted. This keeps on going in the virtual world that sometimes you are off and on.
Achha, before that, sir, I can run the video which we have made for the student.
Okay. You'd like to run the video which is made on by Bedi ji, and we'll put it on the please go
Until
ahead.
the time I'll connect to Bedi.
Okay. Go ahead. It's creating a lot of synergy.
Can you all see?
No, we can see it's still not on.
Just a minute, sir.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Tell me. Go ahead.
1 minute, kids.
The program is on. I think there's some. Yeah, now it started. Can you on the
Yes,
music?
I'm
on the
starting.
music.
Yeah.
Start
Just
from
a
the beginning, please. Start from the beginning.
Can you all hear?
Sound is not there.
Okay. Now fine?
I think we are having some problem. Shashi, we can run in the break if you can connect with Bedi ji.
You need to share sound before you share the screen.
Sorry.
When you share the screen, there's an option to share sound. That's the time when you do it. So you have to stop sharing and then start again.
Stop sharing it. Shashi ji, I hope you can hear. Shashi ji. Hello. I think children, we can run this video little later. If we can have Bedi ji. Is Bedi ji there? Dr. Shashi? I think students, without losing much of time into all these technical glitches, we can have a later part. I think it's been very clear. The concept which has been explained by Soumya Gulati ji, and carrying forward the message of Major Harsh Kumar ji, the Secretary of the NCERT. We'll start with the final bite from you. We will start alphabetically, and we start with the first school, the Bluebell School. We'll have Shagun Jain on the screen. Shagun, is Shagun there?
Yes, sir.
Shagun, if you recall last bite, you said it is not breakdown, it is breakthrough. Am I right?
Right,
and you
sir.
said there are Pandora of opportunities. And let us open up that Pandora today and share with that, the opportunities which you got and the opportunities which teachers, they explained, they got it. How do you feel at the end of the day, having shared your opportunities and heard their opportunities? You think we are on a better platform now somewhere?
So first of all, I would like to greet everyone present here and thank you everyone for giving me this chance. Now, moving ahead with, sir, if we stand on a better platform. So the thing is, we are not having another platform to compare it with. All we can do is make it better day by day. The opportunities that I received during the pandemic were marvelous, were outstanding, I would say. Because although it was a pandemic started with a nightmare for me when I was done with my grade 10 board examinations, but over the past 1.5 years, I have evolved so much as a person who have interned with so many NGOs. I have worked with United Nations. I have worked with so many people, so many great personalities that I have the exposure now that how the world works. I have this change of state of mind, this change of point of view wherein I do not talk about the flaws of the world, but I appreciate those flaws that we can change tomorrow and we can improvise on them, because that is all we live for. And there was a time when there was someone in my family who was affected with COVID-19, when I was going through various websites available for the resources. Therein came an idea, why don't I make my own? I, along with my friends, came up with this idea wherein we deployed a website, mycovidguide.info, where we could come up with one-stop solution to all the resources. You can find each and everything from podcast to the prerequisites, everything there. And all these things are a value addition to the society and a value addition to my personality, to me. And when I hear about teachers, there always are challenges. This pandemic has shown us all that the challenges, that our life is so meager in front of these challenges, but the opportunities are even bigger than these challenges, because we all have the idea to overcome them. We all know how to come after these. When I hear about teachers...
I'll interrupt you in between. Well said, all that, what you are saying, Pandora of opportunities, your connect. What we want to know also from you, how did you feel when you hear your teachers, your principal, your Soumya ma'am sharing the way they have overcome the challenges?
So this is the way we learn from our teachers. And when we see our teachers learning, we can say that we all are students right in front of this pandemic. So when I saw teachers coming up with all these tech-savvy techniques of online education and all those changed mediums of new formats of presentation learning and teaching with the help of quizzes and the different websites and the various innovations in the education sector, I could feel that, okay, now we are at par with this technology. I am not more technologically advanced, but now I am in with my teachers to get more technologically advanced. And very well said by Harsh sir that do not let technology overpower you, because it is there to empower you. And this is an example set by our teachers, that they didn't let the technology overpower them, but they were empowered with the help of these technologies, that they were able to manifest this gloominess of this pandemic into the ray of hope, I would say, for all the students, wherein we talk about the mental status of students and teachers, which has a different perspective in its own. And they have been able to stabilize it and, encourage it to always achieve for the best. that teachers are doing right now. I'm very much inspired, I would say.
Thank you very much. That was Shagun, very much inspired. A lot of bubbling energy with him. And we go to Kishika now. Last time we heard you saying that you learned quite a few culinary skills and you prepared a lot of dishes and so many other things which you shared with. I would like to ask you very precisely, how do you feel when you see your teachers playing a dual role at home? You know, they are also conducting classes, they are managing their homes, yet they are coming each day and, you know, teach you. Kishika, all is yours.
Yes, sir. Thank you for asking me. So, you know, I feel this is the perfect question. I would like to mention here my mother. She was into teaching earlier. So I have seen her saying that there's so much work to do. There's so much paperwork I have to do. Abhi, don't talk to me right now. I'm doing work. I'm doing some important work. But sir, then I saw when, you know, the joy she gets when, you know, they talk to the students, that is on a different level. And so I'd also like to mention here when we were younger, like 5th or 6th grade, at that time teachers were just, you know, facilitators who taught us. That's it. But as we grew up, teachers are now our friends. Like if you're having a Zoom class, they won't just be teaching us, we'll be cracking jokes in between. So, you know, it's a fun atmosphere to learn in. And that's what motivates us to, you know, become better learners. Teachers, I'm sure, like I remember you told last time how you miss, you know, talking in the staff room and everything. Sir, we miss coming into the staff room to see our papers. Ma'am, we're just here for the notebooks. No, but we have to see the papers. So it's all, you know, it's not about the big picture. It's about those little things that we're missing on this online platform, which is really hard to cover. So
very heartening hearing you, and very real picture you have sketched out. Kids coming to staff room, you know, peeping in. Absolutely joy hearing you. Wonderful. Very good bites back to back by Shagun and Kishika Malik. Pleasure hearing you. We move on to the third speaker now from the BPS Arif. That is Vartika Dhimman.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it was big joy hearing you last time, Vartika.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to, you know, ask you that after, you know, you have been on the forum and you have shared with the other side of the educators. How do you feel after, you know, sharing your thoughts and hearing their thoughts? How do you feel now today? What is your understanding about the situation today?
So according to me, it was not easy for us and as well as our teachers. They were at their homes and they were balancing both home and us as well. Side by side, they were also motivating us. They were leaving no stone unturned in making us understand each and every concept. Like, for example, when online classes just started, I was getting calls from my teachers. They were asking if they're like, if we are able to get what they're teaching us. So they were so helpful and they were so kind to teach us. So that was great. And today, so I feel as this hybrid model of teaching and this phygital model that we discussed in the last sessions, I think it is the best of both, like the online and offline learning, and it will take us to different levels altogether. And yes,
wonderful, magically good. And how do you perceive now after hearing your educators, your principals with regard to the new education policy?
Sir, if I talk about new education policy, as far as I have understood it, it is the integral part of the sort of education is integral to nation's growth, and as well as the self. It will also strengthen the national unity, and while also preserving the diversity that makes us unique. And yes,
I think
and
it will address the diversity. Is a very good take which you have mentioned, and thank you very much, Vartika Dhiman. We go on to Nirjara now from the GD Goenka. Is Nirjara there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It was a lot of joy hearing you last time. And Nirjara, tell us how the new opportunity which you have grabbed in are making you sail smoothly.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So, as I say that the unprecedented situations do require unusual ways of solving crisis. And with the onset of the online classes and the switch from the offline real-time classes to the online classes, where at one end learning became very tiring and cumbersome, I found a lot of time in my hand. So, like I said in the previous session as well, that I used this time to hone my skills. I found myself interested in Photoshop, Lightroom, and editing, and I did such workshops as well. I worked in an internship with Fortis, and as a part of my time, I built up the Instagram handle that I had. I also did an expressive art workshop with Ms. Tanushri Sangma as well. So the opportunities that the pandemic gave me were marvelous. Like, I really enjoyed them. At the same time, I would also like to say that the pandemic gave me a chance to introspect. It gave me a chance to take a break and look and reflect at my actions and my words. So I feel that at the end of the day, we are finding something good out of it. And I feel such a optimistic and positive energy around myself right now, listening to my fellow students doing so great. It's just very, very inspiring for me.
Honing your skills and finding new ways. You think in the new education policy, there is sufficient provision made for you young people?
Yes, sir, of course, of course. I feel that right now, the learning that we experience is very tiring. It is very rote. But learning is in its truest form when it is effortless. And I feel this new education policy focuses on that. So I feel yes, definitely.
So that was wonderful hearing, Nirjara. We move on to GEMS now. Jaspreet is there.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, Jaspreet. Jaspreet is the youngest participant from class 8, from, if I'm not incorrect, am I right?
Yes, from class 9.
Class 9. She's passed from 8, gone to the 9. Is that? Yes. Wow. She is the youngest out of the participants. And she spoke last time right from the heart. Now this time, I want to ask you one thing. Share with us. How do you feel that all that what you have learned is gelling with the new education policy?
Right, sir. So, sir, as everyone said here, that the new education policy, it's really flexible. And what all we are performing right now, it gels up with the new education policy very well. So as we know that during this pandemic, we have got a lot of opportunities, but we should not forget the challenges that were there with all the opportunities that we had. For example, I should say that during this pandemic, I was not able to help the people physically, but yes, I could give them a mental support which they needed. The COVID-19 patients who were there in their homes, they needed a mental support. So I was there, I was writing certain blogs so that I could help those people mentally. And yes, I did a great way. I did a lot of help for those people. And my father and my mother, they published those articles on the Facebook page. And people, they thanked me that thank you, your articles really helped us to overcome this particular situation. And I should say that during this pandemic, the opportunities that I got, I never thought of that. We never thought of having the edu talk that we are having it right now. And of course, I should say that the new education policy, it's so flexible that we're able to gel up with that. And it will be a great way along in the future also.
Sure, why not? We will have some more session days to come. And that was, nice hearing from Jaspreet. with regard to her experiences. We move on to the next participant, now from the JPS Greater Noida, the Akash Prasad. Is Akash there?
Good evening, sir. I'm present.
Good evening, Akash. How are you? All well?
All well, sir.
It was very nice hearing you last time. And we've got your... Now we would like to know from you that during the pandemic, the skills which you have learned, how they will help you in post-pandemic. Once the pandemic period is over, what are those skills which still will be there with you?
Before I answer, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow panelists. I am Akash Prasad from JPS Greater Noida. And so to answer your question, sir, I think the pandemic is not the end all and be all. In fact, what's important is not the pandemic, but the post-pandemic recovery. And so what I believe is that the skills and attitudes that we build right now, and as the famous saying goes, hard times create strong men and strong men create weak men. And so this is a statement that I completely agree with. This hard time will produce wonderful people. This hard time is a forge for great people and with great personalities. And so what I would like to say is, to answer your question, so well, yes, I did learn quite a few skills. I was able to learn things such as machine learning, something which is really complex, but also something simple like gardening, and something like electronics to something like woodworking and plumbing. These are I was able to dabble into very different skill sets. And how this will help me is, the future, as we know, belongs to people who know AI. And in fact, I was reading the other day that machine learning and AI in general will actually become something as ubiquitous as writing. And so if this becomes ubiquitous as writing, I think all of us must know machine learning and AI. And so this is one thing that I've learned during the pandemic. And so we need to future-proof ourselves. This is not about me or you. It's about how we build. It's much bigger than ourselves. We need to learn skills, make sure that India grows forward.
Well said. I think that is something, that is what is going to happen, you see. Your attitude, your aptitude are going to play a very major role even in the post-pandemic era. I think, Akash, that was wonderful hearing from you. And we move on now to JP Public School, Noida, where we have Madhav.
Yes, sir.
Malik. Last time, if you, Madhav, remember, we talked about a lot of your work in the science and a lot of your aptitude towards science.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you that, all that, what you learned during the pandemic, how do you foresee in the post-pandemic era?
Yes. First of all, I'm really glad to be part of this EduTalk session. I feel really honored. To answer your question, I think the pandemic was all about opportunities, and it was more opportunities than challenges, right? I got the opportunity to work with IBM and Intel, the internships and all. So I think what I learned was 21st century skills of collaboration and leadership and communication. And I think this is all contributing towards my personality, right? So after this pandemic, I would be able to apply all of this and excel in all fields. So I think that was the major goal of this whole time. So I guess I really learned a lot of stuff.
Very good. And Madhav, you might have, seen as a student, your teachers struggling in the digital skills. How is it, how did you gel with that kind of situation?
Well, to be honest, it was really difficult for the teachers, I believe. Initially they were not really tech savvy, but they became co-learners, right? We used to have meetings with them to teach them how to use the Microsoft Teams and other tools for effective teaching. So it was really great to be co-learners. We were learning from them and they were learning from us. So it was totally an amazing experience.
Wonderful. That was Madhav talking about being a co-learner with the teacher. We'll take on now with the Bhuvika. Bhuvika, are you there? Bhuvika Gupta? The theater artist. Bhuvika, are you there? Maybe we've lost her connect. We will remember to take her on board a little later. Once she, Bhuvika, are you there? I could see her. Bhuvika, can you unmute yourself? We can't see you. You become Mr. India now. Unmute yourself. I think she has some issue with her connect. Maybe we'll take her. Sorry. Shashi, do you want to say something? Shashi?
No, sir. I am saying there is some network issue. I think.
So instead wasting a time, we go on to now the next participant from the Manav Rachana is Rijul. Is Rijul there? Rijul, Manav Rachana. Doesn't matter. We wait for these two people, Rijul and Bhuvika. Bhuvika, are you back? No, she's not there. So we move on to now Mount Abu. We move on to. Hello. Is Himanshi Alawat there?
Yes, sir.
Himanshi, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Could we see you? Yeah. There comes Himanshi Alawat. We recall very clearly you are helping to COVID patients. I subsequently even spoke with your principal. We talked quite a bit about it. We would like to know from you, did you see your teachers during this pandemic period struggling with the digital skills?
The harshest of times like COVID-19 itself, it helps us explore our strengths. Without Britishers conquering our India, we wouldn't have had people like Mahatma Gandhi or Subhash Chandra Bose or something. But this is, I know this is a very dramatic analogy I'm giving, but it is just a way to give tribute to all the teachers here. It was miraculous to see how teachers have adapted with the technology. And my mother herself is a working lady, and I know how disastrous it can be at home sometimes if there's some disturbance at office. So managing house and office together is a great deal, and I think the teachers have done really well at that. Coming to them being tech savvy, well, now that is a thing of 15 months. This used to happen 15 months prior. The teachers have evolved. I know it was a challenge initially, but now we students are practically left with no ways to cheat them. They have evolved, and it's really wonderful to see that they did.
Absolutely, well said. There's very hardly a way to cheat them, and that's the way. And another thing which I, Himanshi, want to know from you is that all that what you learned during the pandemic, how do you see it once the pandemic is over? Those skills, that attitude will help you?
Sir, what I think before pandemic, we had more of rote education where we were focusing on books and everything. After pandemic, however, what I feel, when we'll go, all our skills will have some, whatever we did during the pandemic will definitely have benefit, will definitely provide benefit to us. Why? See, because this is one such platform where our voices are being heard. What I feel, after we go to schools, not just me, but every student sitting here will make our voices heard now. May it be in as small as in the class or school or even in the education system as whole. So definitely we have learned. Now our education now will be more about analytical thinking, more about focusing on empathy and all those emotions rather than just books. Because if I only focused on the books in schools, I would not have been able to speak here. Because
Absolutely.
I might become a doctor or an engineer reading those books, but I'll never become a responsible citizen of India just by focusing on school books.
I think well said, Himanshi. All that what you said was really a crux of the story. Thank you very much. We go on to now Gaurisha from Nutan Vidya Mandir.
Very good evening.
Very good evening, Gaurisha. What a fabulous name you carry with you. We want to see you on the screen. Oh, there Gaurisha comes. What a magical name you have, carrying a lot of sense, a lot of meaning to it. We would like to hear from you one thing, that today when you see at your teachers who are now digitally quite savvy, prior to this they were not. How do you react to that?
So basically, I feel this is a huge improvement. Basically, okay. So in the beginning, they were like, they could not like meet the students, which they were very very used to. They could like improve them physically, and right now they are just they are so improved in technology, like they can handle everything on the screen. Like before they could not handle everything, but now there is like my previous panelist said, there is no way left to cheat them.
I think
They
that's
are
the biggest tribute you give it to your teachers. Is this
yes,
what you are saying?
yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. The teachers, like they are always one way ahead of us. Like we know something and they know something, so we are like both co-learners in this period. From the very beginning to the very end, we are co-learners and we will be co-learners. And it was a very great experience to like teach them and to be taught with them
Wonderful.
and
That
teach
was,
by them. Yes.
I think this was something very magical, which you said, that you are a co-learner, and absolutely fantastic hearing from you. And now we go on to the Mumbai. We get the Mumbai Pan by International. We get Dimple. We get Dimple on board. Is Dimple
Yes, sir.
there?
Yes, sir.
Dimple Galore. There comes Pan by International. Dimple, can you share with me one thing? Ultimately, eventually, this pandemic period will be over. We had a lot of challenges. We had a lot of opportunities. How do you see yourself across pandemic?
So of course, when when pandemic first, started the whole thing, it was a total change. It just, what we had before, it was a 180-degree turn. So we had to learn so many skills, and not only our students, even our teachers had to do so. And one of the most important skill that I learned in the pandemic period is time management. I never was good at time management, but with pandemic, with everything, so I would time, like I had said in the previous session as well, I would time myself. So this is for online session, this is for my online education part, and then for reading and for everything. So that, I think, is a really important skill that most of us have learned, and I think growing, post-pandemic situation, it will help a lot.
Wonderful. That was magical. Another question which I want to ask you is, Dimple, when you see your teachers as a co-learner with you, how do you feel about it? So far, they were not co-learners. Now they have become a co-learner with you.
I think it is a really good thing for me, because also one of the things I like to say is, we as kids, we've always known technology, but for teachers, they weren't really tech savvy. So to see the teachers learn everything in just such a small, time period, it is such an inspiring thing, and it gives me so much motivation, and I feel really inspired by my teachers, that They are co-learners with us, of course, but they learned everything in such a small period of time, and they've managed everything in such a small period of time, and that is really inspiring for me.
Absolutely, it was fantastic. I and Pratibha has learned quite a few things together, and it is joy hearing all of you. You know, considering your teachers as a co-learner, you know, giving them hand in digital difficulty times. It was magically good hearing you. We go on to the Ramakya School, Aditya Gupta.
Yes, sir.
Aditya, good evening.
Very good evening, sir.
How are you? All well?
All well, sir.
Tell me one thing. How do you see the new education policy supporting you, all that what you learned? You learned a lot of digital skills. You learned a lot of AI. You think this education policy will give space further to you?
Sir, I would like to say that the education policy, which was enforced in 1986, it laid more emphasis on universal access and enrollment, which were very essential to provide education to all during that period. But in the 21st century, the overall holistic development, discussion-based and analysis-based learning education have become more important for the growth and progress of an individual. So the best thing which I liked about the new education policy is the flexibility provided in the choice of subjects. It's usually a mindset that only the academically bright students opt for science subjects. It has ended this mindset. And now, according to the new education policy, students will be taught by the latest technology, which will make the entire learning process more efficient and interesting. So it has also made subjects like SST, which everyone is scared about their exams. Everyone feels bored about it. But during the corona pandemic, our teachers taught it so well through PPTs and videos, and also made it very interesting by holding quizzes. And so the thing which I also like the most is the preference given to the mother tongue language. The great leader Nelson Mandela also once said, if you talk to a man in his language, he understands and it goes to his heart. But if you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. Sir, I highly appreciate this effort, and I think when a student is taught by his mother tongue language, he or she feels more emotionally connected and bonded with the roots of the culture and tradition. Also, self-learning and assessment are also very essential provisions that are taken.
Well said. I think you have summed up very beautifully on self-learning, streamless, 9+4. Absolutely fantastic. We go on to, I think Bhuvika is there now. We missed it. Bhuvika,
yeah,
are you there?
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible and visible both.
Yes, good evening, sir.
We want to know from you, you have a lot of data stints.
Yes, sir.
Which we talked last time also.
Yes, sir.
How do you see the provision in the new education policy of all these skills?
Yes, sir. So I think that because we are focusing on these skills now in the NEP, we can say that the students are now going to focus on their skills. They are going to improve their particular skill sets that they're interested in, and that is going to make them more productive in the area they're going to work in, and they are going to achieve expertise in it. Because when I am interested in something, say I'm interested in theater, I'm interested in dramatics, and if I get to work in it, I get to work in that particular field. So my productivity ratio of what I'm doing in something that I'm not particularly interested in is going to be very high compared to the other thing. I think that when students are allowed to study whatever they want to, the way they work is going to improve because they're going to be interested in what they're studying and what they're doing.
Absolutely. I think to support what you're saying, the new policy has added in it the Arts Integrated Learning. They call it AIL. So that will give you a step further. And Bhuvika, tell me one thing. How do you see your teachers now, who are now well empowered into the digital skills, when they come into the classroom? Initially, you might have seen them struggling hard.
Yes, sir. Sir, I remember that when the online classes started initially, so we had our classes, some of our teachers were very well acquainted with whatever was going on. They already knew what the platforms were, and they knew how to teach students. But some of our teachers, say the language teachers, they were not very well in technology. They were not tech savvy. So we had to spend our first 5 classes trying to teach them how to, take classes on Microsoft Teams or Zoom, so that they could take their classes without any problems in between. So I remember my English teacher saying that now the students are teaching us how to teach them. So it is a very good thing. So that is what I remember. Now our teachers are very, tech savvy. They use platforms like Nearpod, Kahoot, and Quizzes, and we get to interact with them. We get to speak to them in different platforms. We get to interact. We get to see animations. We get to see our teachers making animations, which is very inspiring now, because they begin from nothing and now they're so high up there that we cannot compete with them.
Absolutely. No, you can always compete in digital world. There is no problem about it, because we are a very willing learner. As a teacher, I can assure you, from the teaching fraternity side, we would love to learn from our children. It's always very joyful situation when your young people. I have learned, I can tell you, Padlet from some of the students. And I thought I'm near the airport. The aircraft is landing. We have the last participant with us. Is Rijul there?
No.
No, Rijul is not joined. So with that, we come to an end with the participants. I think it was magically good, which I'll try to sum up a little later. We have somebody very important with us, children, is Mr. Bedi, who has given you way on the incredible kids of India. The man who's been consistent in his effort is being always in the backstage. This might be the very few times that he has accepted to come in the forefront. We want to really thank him from our core of heart that he has been a very large-hearted person by giving opportunity to all these youngsters, and also deciding to put your profile onto the incredible, which I was ignorant. In fact, once I have gone through very thoroughly about it, we are little too flattened about it. So we would like to have word of wisdom from Bedi sir. Please, Bedi.
Thank you so much, Pradeep ji and Shashi ji. And apologies, could not join earlier for some unavoidable circumstances this side.
No problem. No problem.
And I'm really honored to be here today, sharing the styles with eminent principals, and more importantly, the incredible kids of this country, of rather our country. I remember one of my friends, Cynthia Crossley, an author from Habits, many years ago when I met her. She said, "Reward the efforts, not the achievements itself. Progress, not perfection." We as teachers and parents constantly endeavor to enhance scholarly and skill sets of a child, the other skills of a child. Kids put a lot of efforts to enhance themselves during the school years, and many cannot exhibit their talents, neither they are recognized at the right time. Of course, schools take a lot of effort to recognize them at various levels, but over the time, it seems that young and talented minds are lost in the run. We have seen many switch their careers. Even, many of you would agree with me on this. We have seen that many switch their careers at 40 to their passion and hobbies. This is what some of these talented kids were speaking about. Why didn't they pick their hobby at the first place for their career? One of the reasons is that they didn't get the right university or the degree course to enhance their skills, or they were not handpicked for their skills they had. Their skills were lost in the pressure of academics, or simply a feeling not able to achieve, or being too shy. And this is what kids on this platform, I mean, this is what the kids have also felt the same on this forum. So we as Indians, we have seen that we have shined everywhere, whether it's the spelling bee in America or sports globally or in the country or technology. The time has now come to show the world that we don't have 100, 200 or 1,000 incredible kids in this country. Rather, we have every kid in this country is incredible in something or the other. So this platform, the Incredible Kids of India, is one such effort to recognize the hidden and talented minds which get lost during the school years. And the very first step here is to start consolidating their achievements and efforts taken in the various fields right from the nursery till grade 12th. And that is in the form of making a profile, which they have done now. The profile shows that the growth of talent and the skills over the years. And this profile, you know how this is going to benefit, because this will show the growth of talent and the skills over the years to corporates and universities, who in turn will enhance your skills at the right time. And schools in turn would get the direction of the changing trends in the industry, which is also missing at many times. We teach something different and they learn something different. Right scholarships and internships for the right minds will become easy and approachable through this platform. So the very first effort, I like the idea of voice of choice and join hands openly with EduTalk to recognize the brilliant minds some on this platform in the form of gold and silver medals. And I personally felt that we should not announce first, second, and third prizes here. Rather, we should pick up. We should rather honor with 5 or 6 gold medals and the rest with silver medals and the bronze, whatever. That's the jury is how they're going to decide. And for me, all of you are winners and brilliant. Carry that spirit always and try to ignite one brilliant mind near you. That is very important. Wish you all the best for your future endeavors. And once again, thank you, the organizers. Thanks to all the organizers and jury for inviting me up. And I'm really honored. And thank you very much. Thank you, Pradeep ji, and thank you, Shashi ji.
That was large-hearted Betty ji. You see, not one gold medal, many gold medals. I wish I should not have got the bronze medal in the Asian Games. I would have been on this platform getting a gold medal from Betty ji. That is what is the spirit. Betty ji was sharing with you a backstage story, what we discussed as, you know, a group of people deciding about gold medals and all. Of course, while the jurists are preparing the result, we have one student who's an old student from a modern school whom I have taught. What Betty ji was saying is true. In our times, the opportunities were not many. He will share in a brief. Is Vicky there? Vivek Chopra? Vicky, are you there? You see, in our days, the opportunity, I could realize what I am at a very late age. Otherwise, I was always recognized only as sportsman. I was never recognized as a teacher. So once I landed into the modern school, even today, those students who are from 1982 batch, they are attached with us even today. So that's the word it goes. Maybe I think he will join later. We would like to hear from, meanwhile, when your, jury is preparing the result, we would like to hear from none other than Siddharth Jain ji. He is a person who will give you a perspective with regard to the education. All is yours, Siddharth.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mohan sir, for giving me the opportunity once again. And thank you, Shashiji, for creating such a wonderful platform. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the students who have taken the initiative and are a part of this wonderful event. And as Manbir ji very nicely presented the fact that we should not be, really looking at only one or two winners. We should have around 5 to 6 gold medals and the rest silvers and bronze, whichever way the jury members decide. While this is for sure that all the students are winners, they have really kind of, taken this pandemic time as an opportunity and converted that difficult time into some kind of an opportunity for them. But I have a very interesting question. This is not for the students, but this is for the education community. Do we really need a pandemic to catalyze change? And I think, this was something which was much required. Were we really waiting for a pandemic? What if the pandemic didn't happen? We would have been all struggling in the same old method of teaching, old method of learning. What the students who we are able to listen today, we are able to see their achievements in such a short span. The amount of confidence which they are able to showcase, the amount of confidence they are able to display, the amount of learning they are able to provide us. Was it possible if the pandemic was not there? So we are talking about the new education policy. We are talking about the innovation happening. We are talking about how we are fighting this situation. But can we as educationists, it is our responsibility somewhere down the line to pave a path which is future ready, which doesn't need a pandemic to happen to catalyze the things. So this is what I personally feel. I have been talking to a lot of organizations discussing about, how to really move forward. The real challenge is going to come when the things are going to get normal, because that is the time when it will be difficult for us to understand whether we go for the new system which we have adopted now, or we go back to the old system, or we create a blended system. Another very important point would be, this is the new normal now, online classes, meeting our teachers online, this is the new normal. So and the pandemic is gone. When the normal classrooms start, don't you think it will be quite difficult for children to adopt to that new normal or the new abnormal, I would say. So we as educators will have to really start working on that. If we are visionary enough to understand this, we should be moving forward, giving our inputs and work aggressively towards making our education system so future-proof and future-ready that children, they find opportunities at every step, irrespective of pandemic, irrespective of whatever way of learning or teaching, and irrespective of whatever conditions and facilities or infrastructure they have at their home. So that is all I would like to say. And once again, I would like to congratulate every single student. What I have said today is something which I have heard from you all in the last 2-3 sessions, and that has brought me into a situation where I was doing some kind of introspection, that as we are calling ourselves futurist, but are we really working on it? So this is the question. It's on a positive note. I didn't want to demean any effort of anyone, but it's on a positive note. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Siddharth. I think well said, and very well retrospection done by Siddharth ji. The backlashes of the system which is given by the Britishers were so hard on our skin and heart, both, that it took long. And necessity is one thing. Jarurat, once mankind has been pushed to the corner, he has started evolving. And he is very rightly said, we all people who are in the education, we need to prepare ourselves, not wait for the pandemic to happen. That's a well said story, I think. I think now the jurors must be ready with the result. Is the jury there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, wow. There comes the jury. So there comes the gold and lot of silver. Children, forget about the bronze. There is not going to be any bronze. It is all going to be gold and silver. You know, the beaming faces of the jurors tells you very clearly. So over to the jury, please.
Yes, Mrinaliji.
It's an amazing experience to be with the children, listen to them talk their hearts out. It was very informative, and I think they have done a wonderful job. Congratulations, all the kids. You were excellent. I think I would hand over the session to Anju ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yes.
ma'am.
Namaskar. Good evening, everyone. I would say that, actually COVID pandemic, it did not break the system. Rather, it has exposed the system.
Absolutely.
So the point is that had this pandemic not happened, as what Mr. Siddharth Jain was sharing, probably it would have taken many years, to come to this point where we are right now.
Absolutely.
So, nature has its own way of teaching and giving its push to us. So God probably, wanted it this way to happen, and we all have become suddenly the learners. It was those very, very sudden, but we all became learners, whether it was the students, the educators. So we call it feels. Earlier we used to say that yes, we are the learners, but now in true sense of the term, the teachers are the learners. So it has become rather more challenging, for the teachers, right, to present themselves and to prepare themselves when it comes to the level of the children, because they are way ahead. So you can't just serve them what is there already with you. You need to prepare a little more so that they come to you and learn something. So more challenging for teachers. So we accept that challenge, and I'm sure we, the teaching fraternity, would really be striving hard as our empowered and energetic young ambassadors, they are doing. They have really made the whole environment very, very ignited. So we all feel really ignited. If they can do that, why can't we? So we the learners, take the initiative. We, the learners, plan it out that no, we will not let the things go on like this. If this pandemic has come, we will converting it to a lot of opportunities. So the whole system, actually, it's going to be blended in the sense modern and traditional both ways. I won't say that it's going to be like online, offline. I would say modern, as the contemporary, the way it says, the way the world goes on, the way the world demands, from us, from we the educators, from we the learners, we would do that. We accept that. But at the same time, we will not forget, as what Major Hirsch was saying, that Manobhav, as our Vedas say, that we have to become the real human beings. We should not forget that, because end of it, the whole purpose and the objective of education is to create good human beings. Everything will be all right. Everything will be learned, whether it is AI or, coding or programming or whatever you say. But a good human being stands, really very, very tall when it comes to the whole thing. And India is known for it. So I believe that our culture is very important. We should have, we should touch those roots. We should see that, that culture which is there behind us. And I believe that, I have formed one word, care. Care is very important. So this care is C that stands for, our 5 21st century skills, where collaboration, critical thinking, communication, right, coming together. This is very, very important. 21st century, and these 21st century skills are equally important. And then we have this A. A is about our adaptability and our attitude. Adaptability, how we adapt to the things, how quickly we have done that, equally important. And our attitude towards that. Until unless we could have a positive attitude to convert these, these circumstances, this pandemic, to the opportunities, the way the children have done it. Amazing, amazing, absolutely incredible. So this is how A tells us. And R says it is all about research now. It is all about research oriented. It's all about reforms. We have to bring about the reforms to bring about a change in everything, right? Say our education system, right? From the scratch, we really need to have to think it over. We have to have a kind of vision to bring about a very, very dramatic change in the whole system. And it says reflection. Reflection is again very important. What our children are doing, they need to self-reflect, self-appraisal. We need to really talk about our own self. Introspection, that's what we call it as. So reform, research, and reflect. Very, very important. And E is something that talks about our emotional and physical health. Physical health, of course, has been really talked about every time, but now is the time to talk about our emotional health as well. So the happiness curriculum, so the emotional quotient, and we really need to talk about it. My hats off to all the children, all these young ambassadors. They have really done a wonderful job. It was absolutely, really, a treat to the ears, hearing them, and it was very difficult. And my salute to Mrinalini also, she's so humble, being a great scientist also, she did a wonderful job. Within no time, she just, reviewed all what the students have given their performers, their Google form, everything. She summarized the whole thing and we discussed. Though it was very, very difficult for us, to come to the conclusion whom to give gold. I believe all are diamonds, all are gems, all are our stars, right? But as Bedi in the morning, mentioned that it's a competitive world and we have to give some kind of credit, to the students who have really done a little step ahead than the others. So we begin with the gold stars, and our gold stars are, it is...
We begin with the silver first.
We start with the silver.
Yes, ma'am.
Before that, can we play that video, sir?
If it is ready, we can do that.
Oh, yes.
If it is ready, we can do that.
Oh, yes, we can play the video.
Working?
Is it working, Jesse?
Let me try, sir. Let me try once again.
And a word from you, Shashi.
Yes. Is this visible?
Yeah.
It is visible, but the sound is not there. But let it go now.
Veggie, that was great. It was.
Just a minute, sir. And
I think it was magically good.
yes.
Even without a sound, we could get a feel of all these heroes. You have,
Yeah, sir. I think there is some problem in my laptop, so I won't be able to do.
no issue. They can watch it as and when they want.
I'll
because it
share
is
with
their own-
everyone.
Yeah,
We can share it up.
Oh yes.
Yes.
So in the end, I will request Shashiji to say few words before the awards are being.
Sir, I will say one thing. मनबीर सर, आप कहाँ थे जब हम पढ़ते थे स्कूल में? और मैं जी, और मैं ये भी कहूंगी कि हम सर उस टाइम हम वेट करते थे कि काश प्रिंसिपल मैम हमें बुला ले अपने साथ एक बार बात करने के लिए. हमारे स्कूल में सर हर महीने पूर्णमासी की कथा होती थी. तो आई वॉज द हेड गर्ल ऑफ माई स्कूल. तो मैं सिर्फ उस टाइम का वेट करती थी कि जब प्रिंसिपल मैम से मिलने का मौका मिले, उनसे एक बार बात करने का मौका मिले. My father was manager in Central Bank of India. So he never given us any idea, thought about the career. सर फिर से यही बोलूंगी, मनबीर सर आप कहाँ थे? हमारे टाइम में होते तो काश हमें वो चांस मिल जाता.
Yeah, it's a golden
That's
chance.
all. And yes, and for the students, you have a very good platform. And with the principals also, I would like to say, ma'am and sir, and all the principals, please share this message to the student to come on this platform and to make their profile so that they can grab the opportunity, they can get the chance, they can get the scholarship, and they can highlight their self, which we missed in our career.
Absolutely. I think
That's
well
all.
said. So now we'll request the jury to announce the results, please.
Yeah. I just call out the names. But before that, I would just say, yeah, अभी वो पूछ रही थी कि वो कहाँ थे, तो मैं ये कह दूं कि वक्त भी कमाल करता है जनाब, खुद तो बदलता ही है, इंसान को भी बदल देता है. Perhaps, this is how the things change. So it's okay. Everything is acceptable.
Ma'am, they are the lucky kids. They have this chance, and I would say they should never miss it. And they should share with their friends also, so that they can also get this chance. They can also highlight themselves. They can also make their career.
Yeah, that's very true.
Even after 1.5 hours, still there are 80 people who are on board. I think it's very encouraging to see the kind of response we have. Kindly go ahead.
Now we are eagerly waiting for the result.
Yes.
Holding our heart. It starts with the silver.
To start with the silver, I would request Mrinalini ji to please announce.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Dimple Gehlot, Gaurisha Rastogi, Vijul Raj, Aditya Gupta, Kishika Malik, Bhavika Gupta, Jaspreet Kaur. Have I missed out on anyone else?
No. I think it's
Akash Prasad. Yeah, Akash Prasad also.
Akash Prasad. So big round of applause. Big round of applause.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you. God bless you all. Now we have the students, getting the gold medal. We have Himanshi, Shagun Jain, Vartika, Nirjura Setya, and the best of all was Madhav Malik.
Wow.
Congratulations. All the silver medalists.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to each one of you.
Each one of you, all the 13 students who participated. For us, all of you are winner. I think we have done our job.
Very well done.
If you are highlighted, if your voice has been heard, and you are being acknowledged, I think great thanks to Bediji for bringing the children to the incredible kids And our big thanks to the jury, which did a lot of hard work in the shortest possible time, and Mrinalini ji bringing a lot of skills with her of doing it fast and in a very methodical way.
Yes,
and
very, very methodical. And
Anju ji also with her all the intense input. Thank you one and all, and thank you all the principals.
And secondly, sir, how they will get their medals, that we have to also announce.
We now either wait for one physical function which we can have, and when we can hand over this. Am I correct, or
Yeah. Sir,
what does Dr. Shashi say?
Up to Bedi sir, whatever.
Bedi ji,
if we don't want to wait, then we can, 4 or 5 of us can go to each one's house and honor them there.
Could be. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. But then I thought, ये एक और मौका क्रिएट हो जाएगा,
मिल जाएगा बात करने, मिलने का,
इकट्ठे होने का, क्योंकि अब छूट ही गया मौका.
Yes, we can have one. I mean, at your school or maybe
anywhere, Ramagya, DPS.
Yes,
we are open to it.
So
we can.
Kalka would be midway in the Delhi. So
Absolutely,
it can be a central place. So we can have it there, and we can invite everyone.
Absolutely,
right.
I think well taken. We can meet later part on Zoom, and we can decide that.
We can
and
decide.
Once again, from bottom of my heart, on behalf of EduTalk, I thank one and all the 11 principals, all 13 participants, the jury members, Siddharth ji, Bedi ji, and over and above, the small, tiny, a little girl for me at least, Dr. Shashi has done magic by putting EduTalk in front. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Siddharth sir, one request to you.
Ji.
We want your daughter on Incredible Kids.
Yes.
She is the star. I have seen her videos.
Yeah.
I'll be honored.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anju ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And Soumya ma'am, congratulations once again.
Thank you, Mr. Bedi. Thank you so much. And I think
kids have really spoken very well.
Thank you so much.
And
we will also announce through social media.
Yeah.
That who are the winners.
I think at least Shashi, if Mohan sir is still there, an idea came to my mind. Even if we are physically waiting or still deciding about the medals, maybe an online certificate at least could be mailed to the students.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like, immediate something like you receive, so that is there. Even if an online certificate from EduTalk, if it could be.
Definitely, it will be done.
The children, I think that will really be nice.
Yes.
And it only adds to their portfolio and their profile on Incredible Kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are going to put that on the homepage by tomorrow morning as well. All these 10, 11 kids will be on the homepage as well. And we'll send the certificates, that's not a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Bedi sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Soumya ma'am. Thank you, Siddharth sir.
Thank you, Shashi. Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations to all the kids.
Congratulations to everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.